And let's get to that, because the next thing we're going to put up on the docket here for the podcast was Cam Newton. And I feel like here's the Super Bowl for me right now, 2 weeks in advance, is the advantage defensively. You could even say it goes neutral, like even. Nobody has an advantage. Then I'm looking at the quarterback. Which team has the advantage? The Panthers have the advantage in Cam Newton over Peyton Manning.
Right now, for sure. Yeah, but, the defense is a bit of a push, but I think I like
Carolina's better.
I like Carolina's better if Peyton Manning has to throw the ball. Because what does Carolina do? They intercept. They take the ball away.
Look at what they did to Carson Palmer.
Yeah, 6 turnovers, 4 of which were interceptions.
However, they could not stop David Johnson.
No, they could not. And that's not a huge worry when it comes to Denver, I think. But I don't think Peyton Manning's going to throw the ball out. They know that Carolina can take the ball away with interceptions, and they don't trust that noodle arm can do it. So they're going to throw little dink and dunks 4 yards all the time. Now, Carolina's got 2 weeks to prepare for that and stop that. But when it comes to Denver's defense, they will be able to stop Cam, I think, because like you're saying, defensive struggle. But here's the thing that I think that they have an advantage over. They will be able, they should be able to stop.
You're talking about the Broncos may have
the Broncos
advantage?
Defense. They should be able to stop the run game. They should be able to stop Jonathan Stewart.
I don't know, man. Jonathan Stewart's had a great year this year.
He has, but they are a team that's built to where they can stop the run. If they stop the run, that defense has done what it needs to do. What Carolina is best at, I would say, is those turnovers, taking the ball away. I think that Denver's not going to let them do that. That's why I would say the Denver Broncos, even though it's basically a push, they're going to have a little bit of that defensive advantage because they will stop the offensive advantage that Carolina has. At least they should. They should be able to stop that.
Well, and I mean, I'm looking at the 2 games for Denver so far in this playoffs, and let's be honest, the New England game, we don't even have to look at the run game in that one, because the Patriots, the thing coming into that AFC Championship game that everyone and their grandmother was talking about was basically, the Patriots are this team where they can throw on you every single down and beat you. So we didn't expect them to run the ball, and the leading rusher was Tom Brady on 3 rushes technically for 13 yards. His longest was that 11-yard run, and Brandon Bolden was the top running back with 5 carries, 12 yards. White was right behind him, 5 carries for 11 yards. And I mean, the Steelers, Martavius Bryant had 40 yards on 2 carries that they did on some wide receiver jet sweeps, and then Toussaint had 39 yards on 12 carries in that divisional game loss. Well, the Steelers lost, not the Broncos. But to me, I feel like Denver's been able to stop the run because the 2 teams they've played, number 1, the Patriots, didn't run the ball. They did, but they didn't run the ball, if you know what I mean. And the Steelers, they were without D'Angelo Williams. If D'Angelo Williams played in that game, I think the run game for the Steelers would have been a little bit better than it was with Toussaint. Now we're going to get to see what the Denver defense can do against an actual running back in Jonathan Stewart this year.
It'll definitely be more difficult, but I still think that Denver's a team that should, when you just look at this defense and what this defense can do, they should be able to stop a running attack. I mean, it's like Adrian Peterson. What do we always say about Adrian Peterson? You don't stop Adrian Peterson. You just slow him down. That's exactly what they're going to be doing. But you slow him down enough, you're putting more of the pressure on Cam Newton to have to do it. Cam Newton has to be the guy who leads the team. He has to be old Peyton Manning and say, I got this, guys. You need me now? I'm here.
Well, I'm going to go one step ahead of you, and usually that you don't really say this about quarterbacks, but I'm going to say it right now. If Cam Newton wants to win the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos, there's going to have to be one play that he makes with his leg, one huge play that he makes with his legs. I'm just calling it right now. There's going to be a 3rd down, like a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20-ish type play where everyone's covered downfield, and he's going to have to make it happen with his legs. And whether he gets that first down is whether or not they win the game. It's going to come down to that, I think. And not like that's the last play of the series type of thing, but that's going to be the play like, holy shit. When he did that, that really turned the momentum for Carolina.
What it really needs to be is he just has to have the threat be there. he needs to add that extra player because defenses don't match up well when they have to, account for the extra quarterback. So that's what he has to have. He has to have that threat there.
And with Brady, it was easy. It was just, you know what? Make sure you pinch him around and that you have that threat up the middle to where he can't step up in the pocket.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's a little bit different. He's not that step up in the pocket kind of guy. Mm-hmm. However, he's not Russell Wilson that's just going to spin move and go outside.
He's not going to go 20 yards back, turn his back, just whip it back there, and oh wow, Golden Tate's open. How did that happen? Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I think Cam Newton needs to do that. I think that's the only thing that they can do. They have to put that threat there so that way you got to keep the defense honest. You can't let them, get too many guys going for you, too many guys in the box. Cam Newton really does have to be the hero, I think, in this situation. He's got to be able to do it with his legs. He's got to make the run game work, too, which I know that's not all on him, but he's going to need that run game. And then he's got to have the passes. Cam Newton, the one drawback that Cam Newton has, the one thing people can complain about with him, is the accuracy. He's not the most accurate quarterback. We saw it against against Arizona when they had it put away and he just airballs one right to an Arizona defender to take it for a pretty substantial.
His only pick of the game.
Yeah, pretty substantial return. Mm-hmm. He can't do that. Cam Newton really has to be perfect against this defense, and because if you let Peyton Manning hang around, Peyton Manning will probably find a way to get it done. He'll probably find a way to win if you let him be there. That's why they need to do what they've done against the Seahawks, minus the second half, against the entire game of the Arizona Cardinals, and just put that team away. Just get so far away that Peyton Manning can't possibly keep up with you. Cam Newton has to do it all on his own. That's why I'm saying, and if he does do this, people are going to be saying Cam Newton is the guy. He is the hottest quarterback in the NFL. If he can do this, he will become that. He will become the next superstar.
And really, I think, I really think that with this Super Bowl, first off, I'm going to say that I agree with you. The Panthers kind of have to treat this game like the NFC Championship game. They jump out 17-0, and then at halftime, if we're looking at a 24-7 score, pretty easily let's go with the Panthers in that one. And I know you're probably sitting there going, well, duh, Ricky. But the first thing I thought of was, this was after the Carolina-Arizona game was over. My first thought was, holy shit, we're going to see the exact same thing that happened when Seattle played Denver and New York. I said, in my head, I'm like, we're going to see the exact same thing. Carolina is just going to demolish them because A, that defense is good, B, Cam Newton is good, and C, Peyton Manning's a noodle arm and isn't going to be able to do anything. And the trophy may go over his head again.
Yeah.
May get snapped right out of the end zone.
I think one thing, I hate to recommend this for a mobile quarterback because I'm terrified of him getting hurt. But Cam Newton really has to play.
He's strong, though. He's a strong guy.
But he wears Kevlar, so he's good to go. He really needs to play this game like it is the last game he will ever play. He needs to go out there, absolutely no fear, be willing to put the shoulder down, knock a defender over, go through defenders. Don't be sliding around out there, so they can't hit you. Go out there like you don't care if you get hurt, like you're in the backyard playing football. That's how he's got to do it because that will get him a win. If he goes all out and says, this game right here is it, this is when I'm winning my Super Bowl, he can do it. Because he has to kind of Superman his way through this incredible defense. This is probably the best defense in the league, with his own defense being number 2, number 3 out there, depending on who you ask. But this is the best defense he's going up against. He has to single-handedly Superman through this defense and show everybody why he's not just some cocky, arrogant little guy, why he is the real deal.
I don't think he's cocky.
People think he is. People are saying he is.
I know people are saying he is, but I can't remember who the interview was with. I think it was someone from ESPN. They asked him about when people say, like, oh, you showboat too much. And it's like, why not just, score the touchdown, don't celebrate, and go back to the bench? And, what was his exact answer? Cam Newton said something along the lines of, you know what? I've worked too damn hard to bottle up my emotions.
Well, plus, those are the same people who are complaining about the no fun league.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, here's your fun.
Yeah.
It's just not the guy who's on your team.
And the way I looked at it, and you guys listening, I want you to take a look into yourself for a moment. Mm-hmm. Whenever I played backyard football as a kid, whenever I play Madden now, what type of player was I? I was the guy that was dancing after touchdowns, excited, never kept my emotions bottled up, because it's not one of those things where you let your emotions kind of take control of you. But let's be honest, I'm the type of person where I wear, you know me, Mark, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. If Ricky's angry, you can kind of see like, okay, Ricky's not having a good day today. He may be angry. Or if I'm happy, you can see that I'm happy. So whenever I played a pickup game, I wore my emotions on my sleeve. And if I scored a touchdown, I was going to do a dance or two, because I was excited that I scored a touchdown. And you just want to have fun with it. And the one thing I really don't want to bring this up, but I will, because Dave Oster of the Fast Break podcast, now I can say that officially because he's back with the Fast Break. We've had the conversation before, Mark, of role models in the NFL or athletes in general. And me, if I had a kid, I'd rather have my kid see someone who is having fun out there than someone who's just like robot. I play football and I score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. I really just think when it comes to Cam Newton, people just don't like Cam Newton because it had nothing to do with him dancing out there. It had nothing to do with someone giving him the 12th man flag and he threw it on the ground. It's just that people don't like him because they think about that kid from college who had his little scandal. He got in trouble for something that he did with his dad when he was like 19. And people still aren't over that. And, there's... Without it being too much of anything, I'll just say he's also not the typical quarterback in the NFL. He's not the guy you're used to seeing. He's a very different kind of quarterback. He's a superstar kind of guy. It's not even that he's an all about me kind of person, but he's a superstar personality. He likes showing off that, hey, look, I'm good. I know I'm good. And that might come across as cocky for people, and some people might be saying, yeah, that is cocky, but the Seattle Seahawks just did it, and we loved the Seattle Seahawks for that. But this one guy's doing it, and that's, I guess, what's causing the problem.
They're talking about LOB, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially like Richard
Sherman.
LOB, baby.
Putting that mediocre wide receiver Crabtree against me. I'd say that's worse than Cam Newton, but people don't really care about Richard Sherman. They care about Cam Newton. He's definitely a different kind of quarterback, and I think that upsets people.
Well, and one of the other things that, you got to go with Cam Newton, you got to think about is how many players have we had that he won the Heisman, he won a championship in college, now he gets a shot to win a championship in the NFL.
In real football.
And you think of the quarterbacks that have been there. Tom Brady, he never won a BCS national title. Peyton Manning, the guy he's facing, never won a BCS national title. Russell Wilson never won a football title. Cam Newton could put himself in elite company with a win here because Heisman Trophy, BCS title against the Oregon Ducks and Chip Kelly, and then he can win himself a Super Bowl. And what would even put the icing on the cake is if the night before the Super Bowl he wins the MVP.
Yeah, he'd win it all. It doesn't happen very often, and people wonder why this kid thinks he's good.
Do you think Cam could win the MVP?
He should.
Is it him or Tom Brady?
It's him. Tom Brady's not even in the conversation after what happened out there. I think so. After what happened in the AFC Championship game,
isn't MVP just regular season?
Yeah, but you can't not look at the postseason.
I'm just saying, don't they they just use the regular season?
They're supposed to, but it's not like there's a rubric out there. They're just judging by what they judge, and I think it's got to be Cam Newton for sure. Over a time, you name a single any player in the NFL, I'm picking Cam Newton first.
Here's what
besides Greg Olsen, I'm going to take Cam Newton.
Here's what I'm going to say about the MVP this year. If you want to slap Roger Goodell in the face, you give it to Tom Brady. If you don't want to slap Roger Goodell in the face, you give it to Cam Newton. And I say that because if either player won it, I would say, okay, they deserve it. Both of them had great seasons this year. But it comes down to if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, it is just Tom Brady going, fuck off, Goodell, and slapping him in the face.
Although
for
Goodell
everything
saying,
with Deflategate.
Where's that ring? Where's that ring? I don't see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Cam Newton, undisputed leader of this team.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason. Luke Kuechly's there, and everybody loves Luke Kuechly, as they should. But Cam Newton is the leader of this team. There's no reason why the best team, who is 15-1, especially if they win a Super Bowl, but way above everybody else, and this guy is the leader of that, why shouldn't he win it?